Well, this is how I'm spending Valentine's Day. I think Undertale at this point is probably one of the better known fandoms out there. I know it's known pretty well as a game, but I almost feel like it's more known for the fandom that sprung up around it than it is for the actual media itself. Undertale's known as a pretty good game, but also the fandom is known for being actually out of the realm of normal. Undertale is an indie video game that has a vaguely RPG-esque style. It was created by Toby Fox, who was already pretty well known for doing like Homestuck music and stuff like that. So like it was doomed to fandom from the start. So when it came out in 2015, it got very, very big, very, very quickly. And you know, when a fandom gets big, that's when the horrors start, obviously. And there are so many horrors that we really need to strap in. And you might say, Lumen, why are you doing a fandom reaction to Undertale? It's old. And yes, that is true. It is old. Undertale is so old, but also it is perpetually relevant. And also we're gonna follow it up with the next video being a Deltarune fandom reaction, which is far more recent and quite relevant still. And we're gonna do a little compare and contrast situation. Can we give them a number rating? You know we love number ratings. I don't even know why I do the number rating. I just started doing it one day and I was like, well, now I can't stop. The other reason that we're doing Undertale is because I do have a little bit of a personal connection with it. You might not know this, but before I did these YouTube videos, I was a little wannabe Twitch streamer.
I don't think he's actually part bat.
No, I think he is both part bat and part knight. Like how, you know how on the Dream SMP?
I still am a little wannabe Twitch streamer. I just want to be Twitch. I do a lot less Twitch streaming. One of the games that I tried to play on stream was Undertale. I don't like looking things up for games. I don't do prep before I play a video game. I don't do research into the game, and I avoid game guides as much as possible. You can't do that with Undertale. The only thing I knew about Undertale prior to this was Sans. I didn't know very much about the game, and what I didn't know was that people were gonna be so mad at me when I was playing, and I didn't even have very many viewers. Like, I had quite few viewers. You guys are gonna be really mad at me too if I tell you this. Oh, you're gonna be mad at me. I think this is a spoiler. Here's what happened. I was playing the game. It was interesting. It's fine. I didn't look anything up beforehand, and I'm not very good at video games. I figured out, oh, you can like do the mercy, you can do the flee, or you can fight. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, right? And then you fight Toriel, and she's really hard to fight. And I didn't know a couple of things. First of all, I didn't know that she was everybody's mom. Apparently she's everybody's mom. I didn't know she was everybody's mom, and I didn't know there are different choices you can make overall that will overall impact the game. AKA, you're not supposed to kill people. Per Undertale fans, you are not, and probably per the game itself, I don't care. I never got there because I gave up because I killed Toriel, and then everyone was mad at me forever. I didn't like playing a game that I really had to focus a lot on, but that people were mad at me about. I didn't like doing it, so I quit. So I don't know what happens. Here's the context to this eternal debate. There are generally accepted to be 3 major ways that you can play Undertale. In one version, you don't kill anyone. And that is the version that everybody wants you to play. Probably the game does as well. I don't know, because I never got there. The second version, which is the very controversial version, is the one where you kill everyone. It's pretty well known that this is a lot harder, and also apparently people think it makes you a terrible person. And then there's a neutral route, which is where you kill some things, you spare some other things, etc. And that has the most like varied endings, I guess. I had no idea. And then, yeah, people were really mad at me. And this has apparently, I found an article it is literally called The Undertale Drama on Kotaku from 2017. And it talks about like Markiplier stopped playing this game because people were mad at him for wanting to do the like kill everything route, which is also called the genocide route. But I'll probably just call it the kill everything one because the genocide route as a name is a little bit It's a little iffy. Markiplier quit playing it because everyone was so mad at him for the way he played the game. Tons of other Let's Players were harassed for the way they play the game. And the fact that I did this it was either like 2021 or 2022, and people still got mad at me for the way that I played the game is so funny to me. Because the secondary research question of this video is, has the Undertale fandom gotten better? And like, when we get into it, you'll be like, yeah, obviously, because the fervor has died down to a large extent, and also there's way fewer people. And remember, the more people, the more blah, crazy. People still got mad at me. So some of these aspects are remaining. Everyone is like, you killed my mom. And I was like, I didn't know she was your mom, and I didn't know I didn't have to kill her. I knew it was an option in general, but I thought, oh, it's not an option for this fight. Anyway, I'm over it. I'm over it. This was such a big deal that gaming journals were writing all these big whole reviews about the Undertale fandom at the time. Also, we're not doing a drama time section for this video because it's all drama, baby. It's all drama. The next topic I want to talk about is Sans, because how could I make this video and not talk about Sans Undertale? Sans Undertale, he is this little guy. He's like a little guy, and he's sort of a skeleton little guy, and he's maybe kind of a villain, but the biggest thing about him is that, oh my goodness, fans love that skeleton. I think he looks like a bean. I think he's shaped like a bean. And he became sort of what people have taken to calling a Tumblr sexy man, which is just like a character, a male always, character that Tumblr obsesses over and makes a zillion fan works about, who might not be someone you would immediately expect a bunch of like often teenage girls to kind of go gaga for. Because yeah, again, he's this baked bean looking skeleton guy, but I guess they liked his personality. Men, if you're having trouble with women, I just feel like at this point you gotta understand it's your own fault. Anyway, so Sans is a Tumblr sexy man. Yeah, everybody loved him. Like, everybody loved him to the extent that, according to the fan lore wiki, in 2020, there were 31,000 or so fan fiction works on AO3 for Undertale. 15% of those are Sans X reader fics. 15, he is not the main character, I think. And it was sort of inexplicable. So everybody was like, what the hell is going on here? Why does everyone want him to, I can't say what I want to say on YouTube, but genuinely, why does everybody want him to yeah, so everybody wants him to do that to them. And if you know, like, to get a clue of what I mean, you can literally just go look. You can literally just go look on the Undertale AO3. Like, even to this day, like, a lot of the works on there are... But yeah, Sans was pretty well known. I mean, I think he was sort of a comedic character, and everybody loves a funny man. And then a funny man becomes a sexy man, like, pretty quickly, pretty easily. And he was such a sexy man, actually, in fact, that in September of 2022, Twitterites, denizens of Twitter, did a poll to kind of do a like bracket to pick the top Tumblr sexy man. I know, on Twitter they did. Yeah, whatever, it's fine. And Sans, okay, I should have looked this up beforehand. I think he won. I know he was a finalist against Reagan, who's some anime person. It might be Attack on Titan. I don't know. Anyway, I think Sans won the Twitter Tumblr sexy man bracket. Sans won, and then the next day the Queen of England died. That was fun. That was a really good day. That was a great day. It was a lot of fun. The next thing I want to talk about is something that is kind of unique to Undertale, which is AUs. AU means alternate universe, and it's basically just when a fan of some media takes something about the media and changes the universe in which it is set, which can mean like changing characters. It can mean changing the setting. Most of the time in fan fiction, it means you take characters from one setting and you put them in a different setting. The most famous of which is probably the coffee shop AU, I would say, which is when you take characters from a work like, I don't know, Game of Thrones, where they're in a like high fantasy setting, kings, semi-medieval, magic, stuff like that. You take them into a totally mundane, non-magical setting and you make them all work at a coffee shop, and usually they like fall in love or something like that. So that's like, I would say that's like one of the biggest like AUs. AUs exist in like every fandom. I have a theory that they're getting less common, but I have no proof of that. Undertale took the concept of AUs and they like cranked that dial up to 11D because they went really hard on AUs. Someone in my comment section on TikTok at one point was like, can you do a fandom reaction to Undertale AUs? And I was like, I've already done an Undertale fandom reaction. They're like, no, can you do a fandom reaction to Undertale AUs? And I'm not going to, but I am going to tell you that there are a lot of them and that they are bonkers. There is a wiki devoted entirely to Undertale AUs. I found a giant list of them I'm going to go through a little bit, and they're separated out into different kinds of AUs, including like, oh, just one character is changed, character personalities are swapped, character roles are swapped, characters are added, characters are taken away, this part of the story was changed, that part of the story was changed, various events happened, the species of characters are changed, and then I opened up the tab that said comedy AUs. And I'm just gonna give you a couple of my favorite ones as I sort of scroll down. The first one is called Bazooka Swap, and it's just a joke AU where Sans gets a bazooka. I like that one. I want a bazooka AU of real life, which is where I'm given a bazooka. There's one called Neko Tail, which is where all of the characters are basically cat boys and cat girls. A lot of these are like they're like funny jokes in the way of they would have been pretty funny probably in 2015 if you were 14. Oh, Underdog. Everyone is a dog except for the dogs. I like that. Shipping discourse, as per always. I have cut out shipping discourse from some of my other videos because there is just literally always shipping discourse and I just don't care about most of it. The shipping discourse in Undertale is particularly bad because the main character and a couple other characters are presumably children of some sort, and it's unclear like what age they are. I am seeing ages from like the age of 5 to literally being like 12. There's not tons of adults to ship in the game, and people like to ship. I think that's probably partially also the reason for there being so much Sans X reader content is because of that issue of the main character in the game being a child. But there's only a couple of ships that are between non-related adults. So obviously there were a lot of people shipping children with adults, and there were a lot of people shipping the brothers, and then there was a lot of discourse. There was a lot of discourse around that and a lot of arguing about it. And unfortunately, this one had a real world impact. Whee! Allegedly. This is probably the craziest Undertale. Well, this is one of the craziest Undertale things, other than like, I don't know, someone playing Megalovania. MatPat playing Megalovania for the Pope or whatever. Other than that, this is probably one of the craziest Undertale related things, which is that at a convention, someone gave a Taiwanese Undertale fan artist cookies that had pins in them. And that artist ended up having to go to the hospital for the lacerations on the inside of their mouth from the pins. And it is rumored that the reason that they gave that artist the pin cookies is because that artist drew the two skeleton brothers, who are both adults, but they are brothers, drew a lot of like ship art of the two of them. So congrats, Undertale, you have something that even Supernatural doesn't, which is a body count. The artist did not die. I did not mean a body count, an injury count. Regardless of your opinions on shipping discourse or what a person ships, that is a horrible thing to do to someone. I wouldn't say I am like a fan of shipping people that are related to each other. That's super not for me, but I don't think we should injure people for it. I know, a strong stance from Lumen of the Unreliable Narrator show here. I don't think we should give people cookies with pins in them. Maybe I'll play Undertale again sometime, maybe, but everyone has to promise to be like really nice to me about it. Undertale is still a little bit crazy, but it is a lot less than it used to be, just at least from a cursory glance. And so for that, I'm gonna give you a very thank God you're not as bad as you used to be 5 on the number scale. It's just out of gratitude more than anything, honestly. Oh, out of 10.